Hey everybody, it's Carrie Roldan here, and welcome to another episode of the Carrie Roldan Show. My headphones are a little sideways. I'm having so much fun lately interviewing amazing people up to great things in the world. So if you've never watched a Carrie Roldan show before, I generally don't open them like this. I say, welcome to the Carrie Roldan Show, where we spend 20, 30 minutes or so a week having conversations that matter to the entrepreneur's body, mind, and business. I'm your host, Carrie Roldan. I'm a wife, a mother, a runner, a best-selling author, a personal growth junkie, and your total business BFF. So I am the creator of something called the Body Mind Business Reboot, which I will be relaunching again coming in January 2017. So if you are a heart-centered woman entrepreneur who feels like you are feeling a little bit fat, foggy, and frustrated, you're ready to finally stop feeling like crap, lose some weight, get your hormones in balance, and get your business straight, I highly recommend you do this one thing, and that is go to carrieroldan.com/alignment. You're going to get a free physical alignment practice that will, get you physically feeling great, especially if you sit at a desk all day long. But most importantly, that's going to get you subscribed to my email list so that you can get amazing Carrie Roldan shows like this coming to you regularly. And also, when I have information coming about the Body Mind Business Reboot in January, you will be on the list and get informed. Okay, so today I couldn't be more excited to talk to, maybe you can tell by looking at me, but to talk to my guest today, because I am talking with my amazing friend, Sarah Richardson, who actually I only met a few months ago, and we are soul sisters, like soul, S-O-L-E, sisters, and S-O-U-L, sisters, in that we both have a unique understanding of running and business. So I'm actually going to invite Sarah in just a second. But the way I want to introduce her is to say that she has a business model, and it's particularly one part of her business model that I wish I would have thought of myself. So I think she's the inventor of something called a racecation. And you guys, I can't wait for you to hear about it, because this is the best idea ever, and we all need to go on one. So I'm going to bring you in, Sarah. I'm going to invite you in. So I'm clicking a button that says share the stage. So Sarah, if you're out there, hop on in. And while Sarah joins us, I'm going to keep talking about her and say she's wonderful, she's delightful, she's a runner who lives in Vermont, and she's a woman, a heart-centered woman entrepreneur just like us. So hi, Sarah, you're here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. So Sarah and I had a conversation the other day, and we were just like, we need to do a show about this. We need to record it because everybody's going to be interested in this. So let's just get right to what I think is the crux of everything, and then it'll lean probably quite wonderfully into racecations. But why is running important to heart-centered women entrepreneurs? Maybe let's start there.
Such a good question. Well, for heart-centered entrepreneurs, we take everything so personally. We love what we do. And a lot of times we get totally bogged in the little details, and we kind of forget to take care of ourselves. And there's nothing better than getting outdoors in the fresh air to go for a run and like blow off some steam, clear your head, come back, and you're so much more productive.
So I know that half the people watching just went, are you freaking kidding me? so maybe more than half, right? Like, because they either grew up not being a runner, or in sports where running was punishment, or like just seeing running or exercise in general as some sort of thing that you do to punish yourself because you ate too much yesterday, or because you can't fit into your jeans anymore. This like sort of work hard, deep workout mentality. So you guys, most of you know I wrote a book called Run Yourself Happy, and you're actually in the middle of writing a book called Sidelines to Start Line, which I love and think that might speak to this group that we're talking to in particular a little bit more. So talk to me about how the heck is running self-care?
Well, another really good question. So my business is called Rise and Shine. And when I came into the business, I really wanted to think about what are the pillars? Like, I am about running. So what is it that makes it beneficial to people? And so I came up with my pillars, and running is really therapeutic. And it's kind of hard for people to believe, but you really do, like when you walk out that door and you breathe in that fresh air, you are deep breathing, and it's so beneficial for your body. When you start sweating, it just sends oxygen everywhere, and it kind of fires you up. So it's very therapeutic, and you get out of your mind. You get into your body and you tap into what's really important. And what's really important, guess what, is you and how you feel. So running as therapy is the first pillar. And then making it experiential is another part of how it's really beneficial for you, which is why I love like going in the woods some days, going in cities in some days, like take it to different places so that you're thinking about the experience you're having versus like, oh my God, I only got in like a quarter mile. I'm dying. Like you don't think about that. When you surround yourself in beauty, go at sunset, go at dawn, like making it an experience keeps you so much more, I don't know, in ease.
Yeah, and present, I think.
Totally present. Yeah, yeah. And then there's running is custom. So that's my third pillar. So it's not about like, wow, Carrie, you're a fantastic runner. And I know some of your running history. And boy, I think you just kicked my buttocks. But I know for me, we get the same thing out of running. So it is a very individualized custom sport that you shouldn't be comparing yourself to other people. And certainly not the runner you used to be. So I was stuck for a number of years, and we can get really stuck in like, wow, I used to run 7-minute miles. Why am I running 10-minute miles? And that doesn't feel good. So making sure that you really customize your program from where you're starting today, not where you were 2 years ago, 4 years ago in high school. It's about making it custom for today. And then the last thing that makes running so amazing is it's a community sport. I mean, I'm here in Vermont and I kind of run by myself most of the times, but it's great to know Carrie. It's great to have my clients. It's great to know that other people in the world are running. And to be honest, runners are some of the nicest people on the planet. So you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. So making it a communal effort and finding the support you need. So even if you are a solo runner, how do you find the support, especially if you live with non-runners or people who don't quite get it? So those are the reasons that running can be super beneficial. And it's not ever, in my opinion, I throw out that whole thing, no pain, no gain. That's total BS. And so is like the calorie in, calorie out, like, oh, I have to expend these calories, run this far. It really is about making the impact within.
So I just love everything you said. And one of the thing that struck me the most speaking with women, well, okay, lots of things. So one, I'm just going to go back through them so to hear them differently. So running is therapy. And you talked about like getting out in nature, which makes it experiential. But I think it's so important as entrepreneurs, as so many of us are home-based entrepreneurs, that we can spend our whole day sitting in that same energy, right? And our ideas are out there, right? The answer is out there. It's out on your run or your walk if that's where you got to start, right? But like your ideas are out there. The answer to, I always used to, people say, sleep on it, right? I don't know what the answer is to this problem, so I'm going to sleep on it. I'm like, no, don't sleep on it, run on it. Like, because you'll come back with the answer. It'll show up. So, and I love what you say about make it experiential. And that's actually something that I'm going to take to heart because I do get stuck in my like, okay, this day of week, I'm going to run here. This day, like you can get so stuck in your tunnel vision and in your like, all right, I got X amount of minutes to get this done. And boy, when you remember, like, this is your chance to be outside and experience the planet. And really feel your own aliveness,
Mhm.
again, business ideas come. Like that's where the gold is.
Cool.
But especially what you said about running being custom, and that's where I want to talk about. And they're all good, community, like all of it, but specific to the woman on the entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah.
I feel like being a runner, is so helpful to being an entrepreneur, right? Like every time I go on my run, I will, just like you said, get out of my head and get into my body, and then realize, oh, crud, what I'm experiencing on my run right now, this thing that I'm experiencing is the thing that there's a metaphor, right? There's a parallel into my business. So maybe, I know you had a moment like that the other day on your run. You came back and posted something. I don't even remember what you posted, but saying like, aha, eureka, it was out there. So I don't know, can you just speak to that, I guess?
Yeah, oftentimes I'll come back with like a brand new idea for something or clarity. That's mostly what I get, is like I come back and I'm like, oh, that's it. That's it. That's how I narrow it down. Yeah, solutions just come in, and it's like a surprise. And a lot of times I'll say, oh, technology, leave it at home, but in this case, like, it's really good to like take your phone out and like say it right then or type it in so that you do remember it, because you will get a lot of clarity.
And just having been in the entrepreneurial realm and in the coaching space for a really long time, that is the number one thing people are looking for always, at least by the time they get to me, right? Is I need clarity on whatever. Like, we pay coaches a lot of money for clarity, and why not get it while you're out on a run and getting yourself into shape and feeling really good. So I know you do a couple things in your business, and I actually want to shift to the conversation because I think it will take us to where our audience is, and where I would like the conversation to go, talking about your racecations. Okay, I lost my train entirely. Bring me back. Come on, train. Oh, okay. See, it'll come if you just give it enough time. You and I are both runners on the journey, and we were talking, right? And we've been runners for a while, but I've noticed that there is this upsurge in my life right now in these two places. And it could be that this is where I'm paying attention, but I think it's something bigger, that it is women feeling called. Women feeling called to step into their own personal greatness, to fulfill their mission on the planet, to figure out what their purpose is. Like, there's women feeling called, and oftentimes there's a business idea around that. And there's women signing up for 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, etc. So can you talk to me about if there's a connection, and then what we can do about it?
Yes. This is my own personal observation and my own personal experience, and what I've recognized. I see so many women who are trying to balance, family life. They're trying to balance career, including entrepreneurs. Many of them are solopreneurs. They are trying to do everything and then take care of themselves at the same time. So what ends up happening is they're like, they start going in this direction. They're like, I don't know if I'm succeeding here, or here. And then all of a sudden it comes back down to, wait a minute. I'm only as good as I am to myself. And so they put the brakes on and go, how do I get back to me? How do I look in the mirror and recognize who I once was and who I felt good being? So it's about self-discovery, self-discovery, very much so. And so, yes, in reality today, there is like this spike of women signing up for 5Ks and half marathons. Actually, I think is the largest growing entry right now for women, which is so fabulous. Because I think what's happening is, like, women have put themselves in this role, like, I have to meet all of these goals. I have to meet all of these career expectations, family expectations. Now it's like, wait a minute, I want to do something for me, and I want to cross my own finish line. I want to dedicate time to myself. I want to take strides, literally. And so I think that's kind of what's happening. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I feel personally. And I know a lot of my clients are very similar, and people I've spoken to.
No, I couldn't agree more. I found it fascinating. I was looking at this phenomenon a couple years back when I wrote Run Yourself Happy, and I was like, I wrote that book for myself, but of course, what wound up happening is realizing I know this can help other people, and then in people reading it going, oh my gosh, that's so me, that's so me. That's why I did two things. Either your book helped me train for my half marathon, which I wasn't like, it's not that kind of a training plan, or hey, I signed up for a half marathon because I feel exactly what you're talking about. And it is what you're saying, Sarah. It's this desire to honestly to remember yourself. Yeah. So a lot of us, right, we were athletes in high school, whether we were runners or not. Like, running is something that anybody can, you can put your shoes on and do it, right? But remembering, like, when did I feel most empowered in my life? When did I feel most powerful? When did I feel like the possibilities were out there for me, right? And it's this idea, like, somehow I can recapture that when I train for a race.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anything else?
Well, it's kind of funny because that saying, like, all you need is a pair of sneakers, drives me crazy. Because while on one hand it is so true, like, really all you do need is a pair of sneakers, but getting yourself out the door and being consistent and showing up for yourself every single day is so challenging. So the people that have gravitated towards me and that I love to help are the women who are, like, super frustrated, they're fed up, they're almost embarrassed because they've been yo-yo running, yo-yo exercising, don't know how to commit. So they may have 13 pairs of sneakers, but it's not helping them get out the door. And that's what We Free Select is about.
And that's why they sign up for races, right? Like, is that I need something to get me out the door. So I know you help people who are committed to getting out the door, and you have something really cool for people who, you need a race and you might as well make it the most awesome race ever. So tell me about whichever one you want to do first, working with you privately and how you help people get back into running, or racecations, or tell me about both, because by now everyone wants to hear about them.
Yeah, I'll start with racecations because I call them my Dynamite Program because they have TNT, training and travel. So they are 16-week race preparation programs that train for a specific race. The one I have upcoming that's enrolling right now is for Honolulu, Hawaii. It's the Hapalua Half Marathon. And so what I love to do is, like, spend the 4 months targeting specific things. So the first month is very much about creating new habits and saying yes to you. So you really have to shift in the mindset, and we spend a whole month focusing on that. The second month is all about embracing and empowering your body and really ditching self-sabotage. So that's month 2. The third month is all about conditioning and really optimizing your potential. So how do you make it the best experience that you can? And then our last month is all about race prep and being in charge of your life. So it's a race prep and running your life. So when I work with folks, it's not just about running in, like, the athletic realm, but it translates directly, just like your reboot does, Carrie. It's not at all just about, whoa, what happened to my business now? It's unbelievable. So when you start running your life and taking charge of the physical piece, you can really start making impacts in other areas. So that's the first 4 months. And then we go on the racecation. So it's a virtual program and you can do it wherever you are. And we have a special group where we have accountability every day, that kind of a thing for sure. And then we get together for that racecation weekend, and it's just phenomenal. Like, I just can't wait to put my toes in the sand afterwards. Like, that swim in the ocean afterwards is just so therapeutic and healing. And you cross that finish line on your own. You've made this commitment to yourself. You've shown up and you've succeeded. And again, it is very much about being customized. I chose the Hapalua Half Marathon intentionally. There's no cutoff time. And I thought, what a great way to allow people to get back into the sport. It can be really frustrating and challenging, but choosing something that's not so stressful, there's nothing worse than being on the starting line going, I don't know if I'm going to be swept by the medic at the end. Like, I don't know if I can make the cutoff time. So this one is very generous, and it's a great place. My first fall marathon was in Honolulu, and I can't wait to do another race there.
Well, and for anybody who needs some incentive, right? Like what better place to have your race? Like, no offense to anybody who lives in Minnesota, but I don't want to go to Minnesota to race in December, right? I want to go to Honolulu.
Well, the race is in April, so you have till April. But it's been after Vermont, in Vermont, I'm like, yeah, let's go.
So I'm so excited about this, and I want to repeat what your not your pillars, but what happens in your program, because this is this is the thing that I love about it. And if you guys can tell, I'm so excited. I have so much to say. I'm watching the clock carefully because I don't want to go over, but this is the thing that I've been trying to wrap my mouth around for the past couple years, is this idea that, right, we're energetic beings and we have a physical, a mental, emotional, and a spiritual body per se. And those things are all interconnected, right? Like, what you do with one affects the other. And so Sarah's months of her program and training and getting ready to run the race in April in Honolulu is this idea of saying yes to you, right? In the beginning. Okay, yeah, where else in my life do I need to do that? More than just getting out the door and running. Where in my business do I need to do that? That, when I say yes to a racecation, it's going to affect more than just saying yes to me and running, right? It's going to affect my whole life. And then embrace and empower myself and ditch the self-sabotage. Hello, who doesn't need that in your life and business? And optimizing my potential. Are you kidding me? That's what I've been trying to do in my business this whole time. And then I really like the whole race prep, this idea of okay, now that we've sort of done all the intangibles, let's get down to business. Let's focus on the nuts and bolts. Let's get a little strategy together. I just think it translates so beautifully into, which is why I'm so passionate about all of this, right? But it spills out into the other areas of our life. When we can get focused in the physical, it's amazing how much more productive and wise, and just how we show up differently in the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual. So I'll stop talking because I see you nodding. What you got?
Yeah, it's so relatable. There's so much. I always say it's the outer game and the inner game. So the outer game is the training plan, what you're wearing, how you're fueling your body, all that stuff. And then there's the inner game, all of problem solving, the self-sabotage, how do we cure that, all of that. So it's outer and inner game at work all the time.
So in case you guys are wondering, where the heck do I go? I'll post a link somewhere around this video, but just to have it, to say it out loud for you, you can go to riseandshine.run. I love that there's a .run. I didn't know that existed.
No, I couldn't believe it.
I'm so jealous. And you can click on racecations, and then there'll be a drop down, and you can click on the Hawaii race. That's the one that's upcoming at the time of this recording. You may be watching this years and years from now on YouTube. So riseandshine.run / or riseandshine.run. Click on racecations and then look for what's upcoming. Right now, as we're recording this, it's Hawaii in April. Who does not want to be there? It's okay. So let's talk briefly about, say I'm not ready to sign up for a racecation, but I'm just in love with everything that we've been talking about. And I'm someone who, I'm a heart-centered woman entrepreneur who is ashamed and embarrassed to admit that even if maybe my business has something to do with the physical body even, or just, I'm ashamed to admit that I've put on weight since I started my business, and I am frustrated, and I'm a little bit, I kind of don't know where to start, or I've had maybe some injuries in the past. I want to feel good and at home in my body again. I want to feel strong again. How do I go about working with you or finding out more about what you do?
Yeah, I would love to hear directly from you. If you are one of those people, and this goes for people who the date might not work for right now, but I do private coaching also. And yeah, it's this is where the customized piece comes in for sure. Like, how do we make this program meet your needs, especially if you're on that real edge of like, I just don't feel good about this and I don't know how I'm going to get there. That's where I've succeeded so much, having a coach and having someone to work through these things with. So I love helping people, clearly. And so if you want to contact me directly and then we can talk about your specific needs, that would be most ideal. And my email is sarah@riseandshine.run.
All right. So you guys, Sarah's awesome. Sarah has a gift and a talent, and I mean, she did. You guys know, right? You can feel it. You can feel like the awesomeness radiating out of her heart. Just like, look at their smile. How could you not love this woman? But but Sarah has such a gift for nurturing the runner in you, right? In helping you recapture her and everything that she represents to you, not just like the ability to put on your shoes and get out the door, right? But like recapturing everything that athlete that lives inside of your body, no matter what it looks like now, right? That empowered, kind of hopeful, radiant, strong girl that lives inside of you. Like, Sarah has such a gift for nurturing her and helping her on her running journey.
Her and celebrating her. Like, yes. I just love to shine the light on what you're doing, because most people don't celebrate or even recognize the amount of effort that goes into doing seemingly small things. So that's where I shine, is helping people see their accomplishments and really understand how awesome they are.
Don't you just love her? Don't you just want to reach out to her? So, okay, you guys, we're at 26 minutes, and I just want to close up shop by saying this is one of my all-time favorite conversations. If you guys have been watching the show for a while, you may remember Lisa Ingalls and I had an equally amazing conversation about the power of running in your life and your business. That running your business, like, there's no coincidence that it's called that, right? And Sarah has such a gift for bringing that side out of you, right? Lisa and I now live a little bit more in the business realm. Like, Sarah is here. She's another heart-centered woman entrepreneur who can help you with that running side of your business, the running in running your business, which I think is just amazing. So Sarah, one more time, I'll give the riseandshine.run is where you can go to find out about the racecation. I'll give the specific link to the particular Hawaii one. Will be somewhere around here. But Sarah, can you give your email one more time for anybody who wants to reach out personally?
Yep, my email is Sarah, SARAH, @riseandshine. Rise and Shine is spelled out, AND.run. So Sarah @riseandshine.run.
Perfect. Okay, Sarah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for having this just incredibly important conversation with me. And thank you so much for the work you do in the world.
I'm so blessed our paths crossed. I can't wait to work more with you. Running.
Yay! Okay, so I'm actually going to check the dates for the racecation and see if they work for me, because April is my 41st birthday. Right? I know. So, but on that note, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I would love to hear how you feel about this. I know every time I do a show on something physical related, I get so much feedback. So for sure, send me an email, put a comment, depending on what format you're receiving this, and let me know how you receive the information and if it hit you in the right spot. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time, guys. Bye, Sarah.
Bye.